Okay, here we go. It is week 9. So after this week, we'll be at the halfway point of the season. So tune in to the recap show next week. We are going to break down division by division. We're going to talk about what we said. We're going to talk about what really happened.
I think we did pretty well, though, honestly. I think
when I'm looking at them, just at a glance, we're pretty close.
Yeah. Okay. I thought you were about to contradict my saying. I'm like, I think we're looking pretty decent for what it's worth. I mean, I know in divisions like the AFC East, they took the Jets to win it all, but that was before Aaron Rodgers died. So
yeah, those are what we would call an anomaly.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, so I don't think we've done bad so far.
I tell you, the NFC is kind of exactly how we shaped it up to be, I would say. I mean, we
it
said
is,
that
except for the Seahawks sitting on top. This guy at the beginning of the scene was like, "Oh, how about them Seahawks?"
Okay, fake 5-2, buddy. Let's be real. That's not, dude. 5-2 compared to the Niners 5-3 is.
Okay, so anyway, what we're going to do this week is we're going to drop our pick show early.
Yep.
We deeply apologize for the recap show. We had a technical
difficulty.
We had technical difficulties, so the camera didn't work right. I blame it on myself for having a
yeah, okay.
Anyway, so the camera didn't work right. We posted on Spotify the recap.
Yep.
Zeb has decided to abandon me this weekend.
Dude. Are you kidding me?
So he is leaving town. So we're taping a little early. We're going to do a little bit of an abbreviated show.
Yep.
So we are going to do
Big Five.
We're going to do a rundown. We are going to finish with our 3 big games.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, we are.
So we're going to finish with our 3 big games. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to do upsets and locks like we normally do. And when we're going to get a big 3 from Zeb. Which is, I tell you what, I have looked at
this spread
each and every
evil.
game.
This is evil.
This is a tough week.
This is an evil
So I
week.
feel like what's going to happen is it's going to be tough. And
it's going to be a 1-2 week, I feel
and you're going to overcome.
I hope.
I just feel like you're going to overcome. I'm going to help you with a little dad intuition this week. So
all right.
As we do this rundown, I will help you out.
Sure. You don't got to be reading off spreads. I got it. But either way,
I don't have spreads in front of me. I don't need spreads.
Okay, there you go. All right, you ready?
So we're just going to go?
Yeah, I mean, what else is there to talk about? A Thursday night game? It's not even going on yet. We're filming this an hour before it goes on.
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah. We can't even talk about the Steelers Titans, so we're just going to have to shove it into our weekly recap, I think.
Take the Steelers tonight.
Honestly, I kind of agree.
Tomlin really good against rookie quarterbacks. Anyway,
yeah,
so let's get the rundown going.
See, I wish the Steelers were one of my I could put them in as one of my locks because I would actually take that. But either
there are a lot of good games this week, and the top 3 are tasty.
Fire.
They
All
are
right,
tasty.
we got to get into this.
All right,
Vikings at Falcons, a rematch of an NFC Championship game from yonder.
Jeez, I wanted to take the Falcons last week against the Titans because of Will Levis starting.
Yeah.
Really was feeling it. They have made a change in Falcon land. Mm-hmm. Taylor Heineke. Is it Tyler Heineke?
It's Taylor Heineke.
Taylor Heineke. And they've also made a change in the Minnesota Vikings starting quarterback.
Dobbs.
Not by choice.
Yeah.
No, not by choice. So you got Josh Dobbs, Taylor Heineke, Falcons at home. I'm going to take the Falcons and Heineke. This guy has stepped in at different times in his career, and he's a spark plug. He plays hard. He's a gamer. They're at home. Pretty good defense against a offense that's going to have to be finding its way.
Yeah, I just think I'm going to take the Falcons too. I don't think Dobbs and the scheming around what the Vikings are going to do is going to click in time. I think that's going to take multi-weeks to kind of integrate Dobbs into that system, just because they're going to have to learn that they can't kind of sling it like they were with Kirk. They're going to have to kind of limit it a little bit, and Addison is not that type of wide receiver. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I'm taking the Falcons too, just because spark plug. Like you said, Taylor Heineke. I know that, last week he came in and he wasn't great, but I think, when you get shoved into the middle of a game randomly after you haven't been taking the starting snaps for a week, it gets really hard. So I think he's going to step up this game. I mean,
it's really actually kind of a shame because the NFC North could have been really interesting with the way the Vikings were starting to play before Cousins goes down. But I think it's Detroit's to lose now.
I would agree with you on that. I think the Packers and Bears are far out of that, and I think now that the Vikings, I don't think
I'd be shocked if something different happens than the Lions win that division, and I think the Vikings lose this game.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Bears at Saints. I think this one, honestly, this one is really favorable towards the Saints. They have been clicking offensively ever since the return of Kamara, and Kamara's been balling out, and obviously the Bears kind of suck. Holy crap.
We just moved like a foot and a half. Dude. Oh, my God. Welcome to the show, Kane. That's your most powerful entrance ever. So where were we? We were on the Saints.
Yeah,
and the Bears?
They've been clicking offensively, and obviously their defense has, position. They're good. Their defense is good. I'm sorry, I'm still kind of in awe that dude just entered like that. Thinks that he owns the place. Either way, I really like the Saints in this game. I'm going to take the Saints. Whatever happens in Chicago, I just think they're not good enough as a roster to compete with the Saints team.
I can't argue with you. I don't have enough information to know who's starting at quarterback, but
I don't think it even matters, honestly.
I don't either. I'm taking the Saints. I agree.
Yeah.
Moving on.
All right. Rams at Packers, so we have a crap fest here, honestly.
Boy, I tell you what, the Rams just feel like a team that need a bye week.
The Rams feel like a mid-team. They're like the most, like...
They're mid-team, but, man, they are just like, They were having some success with Puka Nacua early. They brought Cooper Kupp back in. Tutu Atwell making a play here or there, but now we got the thumb injury to Stafford.
Yeah.
And we signed
Brett
Dresser Wynn.
Yeah, we talked about that. Dresser Wynn.
So
Kane. Holy moly.
So stacks up to be a really ugly game for me. So if I'm going to pick a team, I think I'm just going to take the home team and take the Packers at home.
Yeah, I actually really like the Packers in this game. I just think, simply put here, the quarterback issue is so big for LA, and we've kind of seen that they are awful when their quarterback goes down.
And it's a pretty dramatic change between Pad Stafford and whatever else they're bringing into the...
Absolutely.
Yeah. We can say what we want to say about Matt Stafford, but he's legit.
He's better than whatever you're going to pick off the street.
He's got a Super Bowl.
I just think,
a very good team.
I think the Packers, they started out kind of decent the first 3 weeks, and then kind of they've been on the downturn. Jordan Love has looked like poop past couple of weeks, but I think they're going to pick it up a little bit. I don't think that it's good enough to, impress anyone. I still think they are a bad team, but I think that
now
Jordan Love has...
The Rams are now from a mid-team to probably a bad team.
Yeah.
Stafford.
Yeah, with Stafford, I would rate them the most 5 out of 10 team in the NFL, and without Stafford, they might be a 1 or a 2. And I think that that Rams team kind of sold for a Super Bowl, but hey, if you have the opportunity to do it, absolutely.
Dude, I'll take it. Bring it to Cincinnati. Whatever you got to do.
Can I get that pen over there, buddy?
Yeah, you can have that as long as you don't click it on the table.
Click it every time.
Like you just did.
I know. I did that just to screw with you. Yeah. All right. What were you? Did you say you were taking the Packers too right at home?
I did.
All right. There we go. All right. Next up, the Commies versus the Patriots. This is a classic Cold War feud. Right here,
that's awesome.
This is the Cold War feud. You have these commies coming in to Patriot land, trying to spread the ways of communism, and I think they're going to succeed. I know the Patriots have been on the upturn, but at this point, I think that the Commanders, what they showed me against the Eagles was pretty impressive. I know they lost their 2-star DNs, but at the same time, I think they'll be able to replace it enough, and Mac Jones is just not that good. So
yeah, bro, they gave up Chase Young.
They gave up Sweat. That's the bigger asset
Sweat.
They gave up.
Not a good move by the Commanders.
I agree.
The Patriots have actually proven to be a little formidable at home.
Yeah.
They played the Dolphins tough. They beat the Bills.
Yep.
So I'm going against you on this one, man. I'm taking the Pats at home.
And that's valid. I think this is a really big toss-up game, obviously. It's tough. But I see a better quarterback in Sam Howell, and I think that's what decides the game.
What I've seen is
and plus
when
better receivers.
big players come out on either side of the football, and you have to change your scheme in the NFL, and you have to game plan differently. Teams have struggled and took out 2 big players on the defensive side of the
That's
football.
true.
So I'm gonna take the Patriots for that reason.
That's valid.
So
I just don't think their offense will be able to stack up, even if the defense is taking a hit. Either way, next one we have a bird matchup here, the cage match, if you will. The Seahawks at the Ravens here. If we were doing the Big Five right now, this would have been one of them, right?
Oh, definitely.
This would have probably been sitting at our 4.
Yeah.
Because this matchups of, 2 teams that have shaken up their conferences, right? The Seahawks are leading their division.
Yep.
And the Ravens are looking to make a charge for that 1 seed in the AFC right now.
They are.
Lamar's playing like an MVP. Geno Smith is not, but the Seahawks stay winning. So,
they're all the way in front. They're coming off a game against the Browns and then have to travel to the East Coast.
Yeah.
I tend to say it's probably a 1 o'clock start. I tend to say that West Coast to East Coast at 1 o'clock. I usually will take an East Coast team in those scenarios. And at the end of the day, I really think the Ravens are a better team. I think the spread's like around 6.
It is 6. Which I was like sitting there, I'm like, if this spread is 4, I'm taking the Ravens.
But it feels very much like, and you've said this over and over and over about the Ravens team.
Yeah.
They lost to Indy at home this year. That being said, you just can't. If you're just picking games, you just can't pick against the Ravens in this game. The way they've been playing and being at home, West Coast to East Coast. So I'm taking the Ravens.
That's valid. I am also going to take the Ravens on this, West Coast, East Coast. Like you said, I think Lamar's playing at an MVP level. I think he'll have a lot of trouble this game. I think this is a low-scoring affair, which is actually why I don't really like the 6 spread on this game. I think it's really, really bad.
Okay.
I think it's really hard to judge. That's
probably valid.
Yeah, and I just think the Ravens, like you said, are just a better football team. Like, defensive-wise, I would say they're equivalent. I think they have different styles of defense, but at the same time, they have the same impact. But at the end of the day, if we're going to go break it down piece by piece, I think quarterback is the most important position in all of football. And the Ravens have the better quarterback this year. I think that's Lamar
not really
is a MVP
close.
Candidate right now. I would say, in my opinion, I think you should argue Tyreek Hill as MVP because of just the insane receiver season he's having right now. But even then, A.J. Brown's putting up great numbers too. I just think that if we're talking QBs, especially with Mahomes' last week performance, Lamar should be a favorite in that race, and I just think they're going to continue that momentum.
I like the low-scoring, dirty game that you're talking about, and it could go that way.
The cage match.
And it makes me feel like the team that rushes the football the best may win this game.
That's very, very, very valid.
Rush the football. Don't turn it over. You win. Yeah. And if I'm trying to put together that formula, I'm going to take the Ravens at home.
Yep. So. All right. Next up, the Buccaneers at the Texans.
Oh, my. Whoa. Okay, we were just cruising along, and I wasn't really confused about any game or anything like that. This one is a tough one.
I'm like, dude, why is this even a game? Like, if I like, I just want you to think of a perspective of a random NFL fan that is not a fan of a Texans team or a Buccaneers team, and you are flipping through games, and then this one pops up. You're like, is there anything better on? Like, seriously, like, all these games that we've been talking about, in my opinion, make a lot more sense. This game is just kind of so random and just of 2 terrible historic teams that have tiny fan bases that I'm just like,
it'd be tough to stop. I don't even know if anybody I know that roots for the NFL. Okay, so I
know one Buccaneers fans and I know 0 Texans fans.
Who's your Buccaneers fan?
Some random kid at school that I don't even remember the name of.
Kevin Lyons is my neighbor. Shout out Kevin Lyons. This guy is tuned into the Buccaneers. I don't know a Texans fan. There's probably some Ohio State bandwagoners on the C.J. Stroud train.
Yeah.
Really concerned me that they lost at Carolina, but you knew somebody was going to lose over there. Carolina was going to win a game at home.
Yep.
I've kind of been on the Buccaneers.
Well,
and are they coming off a bye?
Let me look. I don't
remember them playing last week.
No, they played Thursday night, so they're playing on an extended.
A long week.
Yeah, they have a little bit of benefit there. I'm personally, in my opinion, I'm going to go the Buccaneers. I think the Texans kind of got out to a hot start, and then we're all like, "Oh, are the Texans better than we initially thought?" And then we're kind of bringing them back down to earth. Like, yeah, they're just kind of that mediocre, slightly below average team. I think the Bucs are better than their record. I think they've just gotten a hard run of teams and kind of hard schedule coming at them. So I think the Buccaneers finally pull one out and kind of stop that backslide a little bit, because I think they're 1-4 in their last 5, and I just don't. I don't see them going to 1-5.
Yeah, so I think that loss last week will take a little bit of the wind out of the sails for the Texans too.
Yeah,
and the fact that Jacksonville is in a commanding lead in that division, which we pretty much thought they would be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm taking the Buccaneers, too.
Also, another thing to note, too, is, like, the Buccaneers only lost that game off a field goal. So, I mean, or not a field goal, but a Hail Mary. I mean,
they haven't lost any game badly.
Yeah, they've been pretty solid throughout
Maybe
this
the
year.
Eagles down there was pretty rough.
Yeah, but that's the Eagles, too, right? The Eagles are probably the best team in the NFL right now.
Eagles down there, Lions down there, 2 really good teams.
Yeah.
Other than that, they've been in every single game this year.
Yeah. All right.
Buccaneers.
Next up, Cardinals at Browns. Now, this one is quite possibly the most disgusting matchup I've ever seen on paper. Originally I was looking at the spread, and it's 8 points, and I'm like, oh, man, I kind of like the Cardinals to come close in this game. And then I thought, oh, yeah, Dobbs is not starting this game. It's Clayton Tune. And Clayton...
Who?
Yeah, exactly. So this game is absolutely just a crap fest, and Clayton Tune, I think, will absolutely get torn apart by the Browns defense. Give me the Browns. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, but I think that the Browns defense might hold Arizona just to, 0 points.
Is there any chance? Have they already said that Kyler Murray's not playing?
I don't know if they've actually confirmed it. This is Thursday, and he is day-to-day, week-to-week, but
So the only way I think this is close
is if Kyler Murray plays.
Yeah,
Clayton Tune, even if listen, I don't see him having a Will Levis game, trust me, and it's just, dude,
he's getting hammered.
I just can't, dude. Not against this defense, dude.
Even
if Kyler
Will Levis had a good game because he is surrounded by at least a mediocre roster.
I was about to say, Will Levis had a great game because his game plan that Vrabel drew up for him was basically, F it, DeAndre Hopkins open down there somewhere. And just
plus,
threw it up
Derrick Henry rushed for 100 yards too.
Yeah, so, and also, on the Cards side of things, even if Kyler does come back, like you said, he doesn't have anything around him other than Marquise Godwin, and on top of that, he's not going to be ready. I mean, he hasn't played football in forever.
Yeah.
He's not going to be hot straight up, and you have to.
And you're going into the dog pound.
Yeah, and you're going into the best defense in the league.
So, Browns fans, we're both on the Browns. Put it in the books. Cardinals win because Zeb can't pick a Browns game.
That's
right.
true. I wanted to.
It'll be the weirdest thing ever.
I wanted to take
in the
them
NFL.
as one of my locks of the week, but the 8-point spread is just so disgusting that I can't.
Sick.
I just
and,
can't.
And
do it.
you really feel
not
like
with the Browns.
You really feel like the Browns cover with PJ Walker, but Deshaun Watson has practiced, I think, the last couple days. Feels like he might play.
I think he will.
But if he gets pushed down real hard, he probably is out. So
yeah,
be back to
either
Walker.
way. All right, next one. Colts at Panthers. Panthers coming off their one win, woo, and the Colts are just kind of sitting there as most. They're a 5 out of 10 team, man. They have pieces scattered throughout. Their run game's all right. Gardner Minshew isn't a bad QB, but it's there's nothing there, man. No
this is
substance.
really, really, really not an exciting game at all.
No, this is very unattractive. Straight up.
I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because I don't really want to think about it. I'm just going to take the Colts. I think Gardner Minshew is good enough against the Panthers to get the dub. And that running game's starting to go a little bit. So
yeah.
I mean, they're a better team.
Yeah. They're a better team.
They should win.
Back-to-back home games for the Panthers here. I mean, I don't really know what else to talk about.
I guess.
I'm going to go with the Panthers in this game.
Okay, fair enough.
Just because I think that, I don't see them finishing 1-16. I feel they are going to win 2 to 3 games.
So this is another one they can get?
They can get this game, I think, especially because they're playing back-to-back home games,
Maybe.
Yeah, their roster's bad, but, I like what I saw last week. I'm hoping Adam Thielen absolutely toasts the Colts defense because I acquired him in fantasy, and he's wide receiver 8, so,
I just picked up Gardner Minshew, so.
Oh, well,
I had Kirk Cousins. What was I supposed to do?
It could be a shootout, man. Or you could just start Jared Goff, That's probably the safer bet. Oh, wait, no, he's on a bye, isn't he?
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, moving on. We don't really need to talk. Oh, my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry.
Are we to the top 3 yet?
No, we have 2 more games, and you know how we just said that was the most unappealing matchup of all time?
We've got a worse one.
Giants at Raiders.
Oh, God.
Give me the Raiders, by the way, because whenever they fire their shitty head coach, they always come out and actually play well. Because guess what? That roster isn't awful, but they just hire probably some of the worst coaches I've ever seen. Genuinely, Josh McDaniels,
fails
Gruden,
again.
Trust me, I don't even know who this guy is, but he's a former player that they have coaching. I think that...
Do you have his name?
I can't remember it, dude.
No, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
They fired their OC, too. They didn't even, promote OC or anything. It's, oh my gosh, it's only just about firing. I don't even know who this guy is. Who this fella is. Who's the Raiders' new head coach? Antonio Pierce is their interim head coach.
Did he play for the Giants?
He probably did. I feel like I recognize
So he's
his name.
Coaching against his team.
Yeah, just give me the Raiders. I think they're a better team than the Giants. I don't care if Danny Dimes starts or if they have to start the third string crap fest. This Giants team is bad. It's just bad.
Cool. Give me the Giants. I'll take them against this crap show in...
I'm just going to say this. When they fired Gruden last time and they had their special teams coordinator come in and coach, they did a really good job and even made the playoffs.
And you know what? I think Antonio Pierce is a former player. And he might motivate that locker room a little bit, but I still think Brian Daboll's
man, he's been pretty bad this year,
than
though.
him. Maybe he is. Maybe the team just sucks, but
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
And plus, they traded their star defensive lineman to the Seahawks.
What you said at the beginning was, I didn't think we could get any worse of a game.
Yeah, genuinely.
We're talking about it. So
yeah, all right.
So
Either
we
way,
can quit. At
Raiders, Giants, whatever. Okay.
Giants. I got the Giants. You got the Raiders.
Yep.
Fine. Whoa.
Okay. Got a notification from Coles. Thank you so much.
Is that for you or me?
I think that was for me. Because
is your bill past due?
Coles, I don't have a Coles card. I'm not an idiot. Chargers at Jets. This is a little weird. This is a weird game because it's the Aaron Rodgers show, right? The Jets have so many primetime games because they were like, Aaron Rodgers is going to play at the Jets. The Jets are going to be good. And now they're just kind of like, hi, we have good defense. That's it.
This is kind of a tough game to pick.
I agree with you. I actually do agree with you on that. Spread's 3.5. I think, Chargers had a great offensive stout performance their last time out.
Is this Sunday night football?
This is Monday night football.
Whoa.
Yeah. I'm gonna take personally the Jets. I think their defense does well enough. Dude, shut up.
They are really.
Dude.
The Chargers.
Oh, it's because I have my mail open. All right. Anyway, continue.
Are you done with
I'm
whatever
done.
you got going on over there?
Yes, I'm done.
I love that this is raw.
Yeah.
We are raw. We are real. Live. Chargers at the Jets. Monday Night Football. I'm sitting over here just trying to take up space because I really can't freaking decide on this game.
Well,
Did you take the Jets?
I took the Jets
at home.
Yeah.
New York City, Monday night. Justin Herbert can't handle it.
I don't think it's not
BS. I think they got to get back in this division. I'm going to take the Chargers.
I don't think it's Justin Herbert can't handle it. I think Justin Herbert will have a solid game, but I think this year, Brandon Staley has proven that he's a crappy head coach.
He is.
And I think that Saleh's going to outcoach him, and I think that
he
on top of
will.
that, I think the Jets are going to kind of use a long, methodical game plan where they run that clock so they could have Wilson game manage and rely on their defense, and I think that's something that's going to work.
I am taking the Chargers, but I really, really, really am hearing you, and
Yeah.
I think that Jets offense could play better against that crappy Chargers defense.
Probably.
And win the game. So I
Zach
feel,
Wilson, we trust.
I feel where you're at.
Yep.
I'm just taking the Chargers because I feel like we need to make the AFC West more interesting.
Yeah. If the Chargers lose this game, though, I will say Brandon Staley probably needs to be fired.
I mean,
like
you know,
mid-season fire time for Brandon Staley.
like
I
the
think.
Chargers win and the Chiefs might lose again this week. By the way, they got a tough matchup.
We'll talk about that.
So I'm going to take the Chargers just on a hope that it makes the AFC.
We've split a couple games. I mean,
We have split
I
a
know
couple
this
games.
is gonna shake up the standings.
Yeah,
All
you could come back on that dominating 3-game lead I have on you.
Yeah, the dominating. All right. We're going to get into our big three now because that was Monday Night Football. That was the end of the rundown.
They are 3 really good games.
I mean, these are like games that decide the fate of kind of their conferences in a way, in my opinion. It decides a lot of seeding, and these have a lot of seeding implications. We're going to start out with number 3. I know this is the last place team in the AFC North, but they're playing at home and are off a big win against 49ers.
They're last place, but they're on a run.
But the Damar Hamlin show is in town. Yes, that's right. This is a rematch of the famous Damar Hamlin game.
Yeah.
Or I should say infamous Damar Hamlin game that never got finished. So we're finally going to see who's the better team in the regular season because the Bengals still beat them in the playoffs last year.
Oh, like they stole
But
something.
the Bills at the Bengals here. This is a very, very, very intriguing matchup. Of course, the Bengals are sitting on the upslide. They have destroyed the NFC West in all of their glory.
Yeah,
4 wins. Yep. And they have, I mean, we know Cincy's struggles, right? He's a Bengals fan. We have a lot of Bengals fans. We've talked about them quite frequently. Their offense has struggled. Looked really good last week, though. Bills are also kind of on a struggle because they have had the injury bug bad on their team, just in general, mostly on the defensive side of the ball. They've lost their middle linebacker. They've lost corners. You know, Kier Alam, a guy they picked in the first round a couple years back, has stepped in, and he is terrible. They are struggling a lot defensively. So this is a very interesting matchup.
I feel like momentum, confidence, and things of that nature, the 3-headed monster of Burrow, Mixon, and Chase look good. T. Higgins played well last week.
Yup.
Tyler Boyd got what he should get. They're coming home. Sunday Night Football.
Yup.
I just can't, as a fan, not believe that. So this is Homer. It is Homer, but at the same time,
Homer, but
it is
it's not that
also
educated.
with what I said at the beginning of the season.
Oh my gosh, dude!
That I said
your take is trash. Stop relying on it.
It is not trash.
They're 5-3 still.
I thought this Bills team
Jeez.
has seen their better days.
They're 5-3 still, dude. Honestly, I just want to take the Bills just to go against that take because they've peaked, and it's like they've had 50 million injuries. That's what you call an anomaly, right?
Well, you know what? Durability. We talk about it all the time
Holy
in sports,
crap.
and your ability
so
to
you're
stay
gonna blame
healthy.
the Jets for durability? Are you gonna?
So I'm gonna say
because that was not your reasoning for taking the Bills to downslide at the beginning of the year.
All right, we'll just take all that crap aside. The offense played the most complete game they played, and the defense has been really, really good all year. So the combination of both of those things
taking the Bengals.
Being at home, I'm going to take the Bengals.
I'm taking the Bengals too. I just think momentum's on their side, and I think they're playing at home. I think that's just as simple. If this was in Buffalo, I think this would actually be a big L for them. But I think just simply being at home is going to offer a little bit more comfort. I know they have to fly in from the West Coast, which is a little tough. But at the same time, I don't think it's that bad. I think that they are going to kind of use that momentum. I think they're going to play a complete offensive game. I think their defense is way better than the kind of beaten up Bills defense. And I think the key to this game is going to be attack their corner position. And I think that's something that the Bengals can do excellently. Yep. So the Bills are going to have to try to rely on Joe Burrow not being able to read the zone, and Joe Burrow can read the zone. And if they're going to play man coverage with people like Kier Alam or whoever's sitting behind them, whoever he's playing on, one of those wide receivers is probably going to get open. If Chase doesn't even just get open off their number one wide receiver anyway, or number one cornerback anyway. So I just think the Bengals on paper are a better matchup
Yep.
Like, I just think this is one of those counter games. Like I said with Jacksonville last week, this is a counter game. It's like both these teams are better than their records show. But going into this game, I just think, simply put, the Bills have been countered by the Bengals here. So
yep, for me, it's all about how well do we scheme offensively and how well does the offensive line play. I think the defense will do their job. If the offensive line gives Burrow some time and they don't have anything to throw at them from a scheme standpoint defensively, I think something he said from Mojo. They got their Mojo back.
I think, simply put, though, if we're going to get into it, the Bengals' biggest concern is that Josh Allen is the best quarterback they've played all year.
Oh, that's a fact.
And I think that Josh Allen has kind of shown, other than a couple bad weeks to start the year, ever since, I would even say it's really one bad week and one kind of midweek.
Yeah.
Ever since then, if you watch the game film and you actually pay attention to the game and not the stats, it kind of looks like he's out there carrying an entire team on his back.
Yeah,
him and Stephon Diggs.
Hey,
so
Josh Allen
that's the worry
is
here.
a gamer, man.
Yep.
And he will fight claw, do anything he can try to win this game. So
Wyoming quarterback,
ought to be a damn good game on Sunday night.
Yep. All right, now we got an even.
Whew, this is spicy.
This one's even more
This is
spicy.
really spicy.
Division game. We talked about three teams at the beginning of the year in the NFC that are likely to go to the Super Bowl, or the three that I thought were the only three that would go there: 49ers, Eagles, Cowboys. And two of them play this week, as in the Cowboys are traveling to Philly. And I think that's the game changer, but I'll get into deeper detail. Dak had a great game last week, but can he continue that? And also the Philly defense is, as stout as ever. And they played a complete 4 quarters last week against Washington. They had to come back.
Yep.
But at the same time, that was more of Washington playing up to their competition rather than Philly playing down. And I just think Philly looked insanely good last week, despite what the score would say. And I think this is going to be a very scary game for the Cowboys.
Scary game in Philly. You talk about a violent place. It's a violent place to play.
Yeah, it's up there with like Boston.
You're walking into that stadium and this is hatred.
Oh, dude.
Pure
the animosity toward the Cowboys for every NFL franchise is bad, and when the Cowboys travel, it's hard to play because everybody hates them. But when you go to Philly, it's not just hatred. It is boiling rage, like you are my least favorite thing in this entire universe.
Yeah, yeah. However,
all right.
That being said, the Cowboys did what I thought they would do coming off the bye week. And they are fresher.
They are.
The Eagles have not had their bye week yet, so they're 8 weeks in, and they are, let's call it what it is. NFL teams get beat up. So the problem I have with this game, I feel like if it was on a neutral field, I'd take Dallas all day. But it's not. It's in Philadelphia.
But is that you're saying Dallas all day on a neutral field?
All day. I would lean more toward Dallas on a neutral field.
Yeah.
And I said this earlier when the Niners were on the roll and the Eagles were winning. I said you got to give me a reason to bet against you.
Yeah.
And the Eagles just really have not done that. They have not given me a reason, and furthermore, not given me a reason to bet against them at home. Great game last week, Dallas.
Yeah.
Did what you should do against the Rams. I can't buy off. However, if you win this game,
Cowboys. You should take the Cowboys.
If you win this game,
take the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
You're taking the Cowboys?
This one's for you, DVZ. Big
awesome.
Doug, Uncle Doug.
We get to differentiate, and I
Cowboys.
think I'm confident in this. I think I get a free win out of this, by the way, because I simply think Dak Prescott.
He just talked me into that one. You just
I
goaded me right into that.
I know. I'm just straight here. I'm going to say this right now. Defensive comparison. Both are stout defenses. Here's what I'm going to say. CeeDee Lamb's a dog. A.J. Brown's a bigger dog. Dak Prescott can be a dog. Dak Prescott can be a dog. I can tell you what, Jalen Hurts has shown me that he can be a bigger dog.
Yeah.
And I think if we're going to go to defensive-wise, Micah Parsons is a dog, right? But the Philly front seven is the dogs. And also, you just take...
You keep going.
You take a cornerback room. Are you crossing it out? Yeah, there you go. There you go. I think, honestly, even if this was in Dallas, I'm taking the Eagles. And if this week, and I know they're not as fresh, but here's even the thing. I've just explained the teams. Bro. I've explained the counters and the teams and stuff like that, blah, 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 blah. Here's the real kicker. You know what? I was sitting there and I'm like, why do I think the Eagles are going to win this game so bad? One, because Dallas culture would say they would lose this game. This is tradition. You know, you come off this big boy win and we're the big guys now. Then we drop a game to a division opponent. But even bigger than that is the guy calling the plays is Mike McCarthy. And this is a Mike McCarthy loss game right here. And I think Nick Sirianni, a little step up from Mike McCarthy. So I'm going to take the Eagles. No hatred towards the Cowboys. I think you guys are still a very good team.
They are.
I just think, simply put, this is a counter game. And I think the Eagles, especially going into a Philly environment like that, I think Philly all day.
For me, it's all about the Cowboys' defense. They've got those two great corners that have been playing awesome all year. They got Micah Parsons, and I feel like the Eagles, to your point, can counter that. Mm-hmm. Might be a big DeAndre Swift game.
Well, here's what I'm even going to say, too, is I think that the one game that Philly has lost this year, it's when Jalen Hurts threw 3 picks and they almost won still. So I genuinely think unless Jalen Hurts throws 3 picks, they lose this game. But on the other side of that, Zach Wilson did not have a bad game when he played against Philly. He was kind of meh, failed, didn't turn the ball over a lot. But guess what? You know what? Dak Prescott loves to turn over the ball, and especially against the Philly defense like that where you're going to be facing pressure every single last play, and their cornerbacks are not bad either. It's going to be so bad for Dak. If Dak throws 2 interceptions, lock in the Eagles. I mean, genuinely.
Why?
If Dak throws 2 picks, I'm saying.
If
Dak throws 2 picks.
If its and buts were Halloween and candy and nuts. You can't you pick a team.
I'm taking the Eagles.
If Dak throws it, or do the Eagles
Dude, did
win?
I not make it clear that I'm taking the Eagles?
Okay, well, you threw an if out there.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm taking the Eagles, too. I crossed them out.
Game of the week, we decided to go across the pond here. This one is
very great. This is a great AFC matchup.
Listen. If I didn't think the Eagles were so good, if I didn't think the Eagles were going to waltz in and beat the Cowboys, then I would have taken that as my game of the week because division rivalry, hatred. Yeah, it's like on paper. But here's the thing I think the Eagles are going to go.
You're talking about some fans selling their souls this weekend for a win.
Yeah.
I mean, Cowboys and Eagles fans would sell their souls for a win.
Right here, this is going to be a better game. Just a straight-up game. So we have a good Chiefs defense, right? And then we have a struggling Chiefs offense that contains Kelsey and Mahomes. That's it. If you can shut down Kelsey defensively, you're not really gonna have success. This Chiefs offense got kind of exposed last week. It wasn't Mahomes getting exposed. It was the fact that he had nobody around him. And I mean, this is absolutely atrocious. I mean, this is one of the worst casts I've ever seen when you're starting Kadarius Toney after the week 1 and the weeks that he's had, there's a problem. When you have to trade for McCole Hardman, that's rough. Wow. Yeah. So, I mean, just simply put, I think that, this is a very interesting game because are the Chiefs going to be able to bounce back? Are the Dolphins going to, continue this high fly offense? Are they gonna be able to kind of expose this Chiefs defense that's been very stout all year? Are they going to be able to prevent pressure, from that defensive line, especially from, Jones coming up the middle? It's an interesting game, man. It's the biggest toss-up, in my opinion, this week. Yeah,
I feel like so Mahomes is under the weather. They go to Denver. They take the L. And we're beat soundly.
Yeah.
And the offense has really struggled all year except for one game.
Yep.
But the defense has been great.
Yep.
And now it's not like you're going to Miami. You're going to Germany, right?
Yeah, I think they're in Germany this week.
So the fastest team in the NFL, Tua's still healthy. I said in the AFC East, Tua stays healthy, even if Rodgers was with the Jets.
Yeah, I know.
I said this at the beginning of the season. I said if Tua's healthy, that this team would compete to win that division, or probably would. And I think this is a statement game for Miami.
They need one.
If this goes the Dolphins' way, they say, okay, we're in the upper echelon in the AFC. We're right there with Kansas City. We're right there with the Ravens.
Yep.
So I want to say right there with Jacksonville, but I don't believe Jacksonville's right there. But I think they put themselves in the power rankings. The last place team in the AFC North, they're right there with the Bengals.
Yeah.
Who is a good team. So if they can pull this off, you know what? Andy Reid and Mike McDaniel, what a great coaching matchup. The old dog versus the young dog.
Yep. We talked about this with Philly. It wasn't
this
a
is a
coaching matchup.
This is a really, really fun game.
I'll give
I
my
tell you
thoughts.
what, I want to get up on Sunday morning and just grab some popcorn and freaking watch this thing.
I'm going to give my thoughts on it just straight up
Go
here.
ahead.
So my opinion on this is, like I said, it's the biggest toss-up game. But, Miami has not played well against the two good teams they've played. They've kind of beaten up on lower opponents. I mean, their best win is not really that great, right? Their two losses are to the Bills by 3 scores, and it's to, I know it's to the Eagles, but I think it was by 2 scores as well, or just 2 scores. I think this needs to be a game that actually, you need to win. This is a need-to-win game just to prove, and I think this is, under the radar, that you can be a good team. And I think that this is the week they end up doing it. I think that the Chiefs are kind of weakened a bit. They're kind of hurt. Mahomes was under the weather. They're going to be a little bit jet-lagged. They only have Kelsey and Mahomes there. And Mike McDaniel has shown that he's a pretty intelligent offensive mind, but his defense has been pretty decent so far. I think they're able to scheme to prevent Kelsey from doing stuff. And I think that this Dolphins team finally gets that good win, that actual,
signature.
Signature win that they
win
need.
This year.
And that's what I think happens this game.
So I love it when you support my takes of the Dolphins to a healthy, that roster, and the Bills. You took the Bengals going to 5-4, and the Dolphins kind of taking control.
Yeah.
At the midway point, a lot of football to play. A lot of football to play.
And I mean,
taking
Buffalo
control
beat
of that division.
Miami by 21, right?
They did.
So that's 21 points is 21.
I don't know.
Points
Come on
no
down to
matter
South
what.
Beach. We'll see what happens.
21 points is
Significant.
a lot for Buffalo.
Significant.
Anyway, either way.
So I feel like you just said what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You taking the Dolphins?
Yeah, I'm taking the Dolphins. I can't.
Well, there we are. We're taking the Dolphins.
Yep, there you go. That was pretty easy. I think that, it's not like they're a lock to win, but it's just I think
no, they're not a lock.
See, this is my problem, though. It's like, dude, this is like betting against Tom Brady, except I haven't realized it yet, because it's like, dude, Mahomes literally has nothing with him other than Kelsey at this point.
Yeah, the weapons on the offensive side are bad.
But it's like he's literally the GOAT. He's the best quarterback
But
I've ever
he's
seen
been
play.
winning games.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been their offensive player.
Dude, really?
What's up, bro?
Dude, you've been a distraction today.
He is tearing it up.
You want to speak? You want to speak in that?
Boof. Boof.
Oh, I heard you breathe a little bit. Boof.
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 All right.
All right, Kane, get down.
Gainer, you got to get down.
We got to do upset and lock, bud.
All right. So we got to do upset locks and big threes.
Give me
we
your
got
lock.
to do these really fast.
Give me your lock.
I will take my lock. Will be the Dolphins.
That's such a crap lock of the week, honestly.
Is that an upset? What's the spread?
Yes, that's technically an upset.
I'll take them as my upset.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's not, dude. It's like 50%, 50%, bro. That's not an upset.
Okay.
Just Vegas has to choose a loser.
All right,
to win.
my lock is the Dolphins. I truly think being on the road, going across the pond, Chiefs, and with the weapons they got, I think the Dolphins
You're overcomplicating
assert
this
themselves.
one, dude. This one's really easy.
Dolphins.
This is my lock of the week. I'm going to take them for the second time this year as my lock. I know they've let me down, but just give me the freaking Browns over the Cardinals. If Clayton Tune tears up your defense, then you should actually consider, you know what they should consider if Clayton Tune tears up their defense? You know what they should consider?
What?
Moving to Baltimore. Straight up. I mean, genuinely, if you get teared up by Clayton Tune, I will be sadly disappointed in you, and I think that this defense is just too good to lose to them. So give me the Browns as my lock. My upset, I'm going to go with my Panthers over the Colts. I mean, it's the biggest upset on here that I chose.
Yeah, sure.
I know the spread is only actually 2.5, but I just think simply put, there's just something here, I think, that the Panthers just are going to grab here and get a little bit of momentum. So
get a couple wins back to back. People get on the bandwagon.
I feel like the Colts
and it'll be over.
Yeah.
It'll be over after that.
I feel like the Colts are going to play down to their competition like they usually do.
So I got the most boring upset, so we won't dwell on it for a second.
Are you going to choose the Bengals?
No, I'm going to take the Giants over the Raiders.
Okay, that's a goofy little upset, but yeah, sure.
Nobody cares about it.
Yeah,
Nobody's
50-50
even interested.
game.
I'm just saying that's what it is. So, so now we got to get to our big three. Your big three.
I'm going to.
This is yours.
I'm going to say.
This is a tough week. That's why I say that.
Okay, can I give them?
No.
All right. First thing I'm going to say, all right, is I'm going to say watch the Packers game. That's my first one. So I'm not going to take it as one of my locks.
Just watch it.
But watch the Packers game. AKA, I kind of want to take it as a lock at -3 for the Packers, but I'm not going to. But actually, you know what? I'm doing 4. Give me Packers -3. That's my first. I'll do it. Why not? We're going to go off the rails here. Second one, I'm going to go against you. Raiders -1.5. I think they rally in that locker room, and I think they do it again.
A terrible pick.
Bro, it's like 50-50 game, and it's basically a pick.
It's not really a 50-50 game.
You think if Danny Dimes comes back, he's proven that he's a crap quarterback. DeBall has not called a good game this year. And the recipe for success, you know what it's going to be? Run the football with Saquon 50 times.
You can stop yelling at me.
Yeah, I'm going to yell at you because
I just think it's a terrible lock. So.
We'll see on Sunday, buddy.
All right, fine.
All right. Next one, I'm going to take the Bengals -2 with the Bills, actually. So I'm pretty confident in the Bengals. I think they use that momentum. I think the only thing that really is kind of on it is that, the Bills kind of have some fire in their heart after that embarrassing playoff loss, and they kind of go to redeem. But right now, they are just... The Bills looked hot early in the season, but they have slowed down immensely, and I just don't think they have that same fire like they did early in the season. If this was 3 weeks ago, I would have taken the Bills.
They do, and this is a really, really weird position for me to be in as a Bengals fan, for me to say, this is kind of the time of year when we start peaking and getting our crap together.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I don't hate that one.
And then finally, I talked in droves about it and how confident I was in them. Give me the Eagles -3. I really think just the Philly environment. I mean, listen, -3 in my opinion is you win the game, basically. Yeah. And I think that when it's a spread that low, it's basically you win the game. And I think Philly is going to win this game. I mean, just simply put, I think that Philly environment's just a little too much for the Cowboys.
Yep.
All right. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
I ain't got much else, This week is hard. I would love to say there's more, but
this is a tough week, and there's some really good games. I think the games at the top are really, really freaking good.
Yeah.
So have a great weekend. Tune in, see what's up. We will see you next week. We're going to break down the divisions a little bit, probably a little extended recap show. So if you want something to go to sleep to, tune in next week and see what we have to say.
Yep.
So, all right. Have a great weekend.